Hi, I'm Captain Mike, and in the words of Steve Harvey, host of the Family Feud TV show, have we got a good one for y'all today. We're going to talk about coloring slip, and this whole process came about somewhat accidentally or haphazardly. Those of you who've been keeping up with my videos know that I've been playing with this river mud, our natural clay from here in Georgia, and it's kind of a red color and it's very porous. I've been doing a lot of different things with it, but I wanted to kind of duplicate some early American techniques where they had white and black slip or something that they use to decorate their pottery. Well, you know, all I have is slip. It fires white, so I said, what the heck. So I started tinkering around with it, and I took some natural slip. What did I do with my natural slip? Here it is. I took some natural gray slip. It's gray in its wet form. When you fire it, it turns, you know, really nice white color, bone white if you will. So I said, what if I take this and I add some colors to it? So I had, well, this is just some of the examples that I was playing with it, and I had some oxides that I had used earlier to color concrete. That's what these were bought for. Have a, you know, every color just about that they offer. They're oxides, and I said they're powder, and they're oxides. They should hold up to firing. So that's what I did. I took them and I put a little bit of oxide in some of the slip. Now, some of these here are empty, just about empty, because I've been playing with it. But as you can see, this is the green. It's what it looks like mixed up. I just took some, you know, a couple of spoonfuls, slopped it in there, mixed it up with a mixer, my little handy dandy mixer, to get it really incorporated well. If you don't, it doesn't want to incorporate. You have to use a mixer. But I mixed up some green and some black and some of this yellow oxide here, and some terracotta red, and I mixed it all up in these different containers, and I mixed it kind of loose because I was going to be dipping these in it, and you can see I just kind of immersed them in it down to the line where I was holding them, and then I fired them. Some of them I tried to scribe on a little bit. After the stuff got bone hard, it didn't work. And I splattered finish on it. On some of them, this one here, I tried to use a leaf on and imprint it. I wasn't getting anywhere. I mean, you know, it was fun and it was interesting, but it wasn't getting anywhere. So I gave up on it for right now. I said, okay. But I got these containers of slip. So I thickened them up just a little bit, and I decided that I would pour them in my ever-ready handmade molds that I use specifically for testing stuff. So I poured these several molds that I have. I poured them with these various and assorted colored slips, and when they dried, this is kind of what they come out looking like. Now this is the natural one. This is what this regular old slip looks like. This is the green, nice shade of green. The terracotta is kinda light. The black, which looks gray, looks almost like this one, doesn't it? But it's darker. And that was the black, and I said, okay, we'll see what it'll do. And then of course the yellow oxide, and that's what they looked like before I fired them. Then I bisque fired them. And of course, as expected, this one is the normal one. It come out bone white. Then you get the green, it stayed green. The terracotta didn't change a lot. Very light shade of terracotta. The black turned pink. Don't ask me why, but it did. And then the yellow oxide, it turned kind of pinkish orange. So what to do next? We're going to glaze them with clear glaze. I use Dunkin', just Dunkin's regular old clear glaze. On a regular piece, it looks like this. Just kind of bone white. The green come out very nice, avocado looking. And that's the way it looks with glaze on it. The terracotta is a very light shade of terracotta. The black was really interesting. If it did look with that on it, looked kind of purplish or lavender, let's say. And the yellow, or the yellow oxide, it turned a little bit lighter. They're all neat colors, and they're those colors all the way through. It was just really interesting. I had never colored slip. Don't know what application it would really have other than if you wanted to play around with it. If you didn't have colored glazes or you just had some slip that you wanted to color, make sure that you use something. Don't use a plastic-based powder. It's going to burn up, be a disaster. I say that because I haven't tried it, but I know it will. I have some powder coating colors. They're beautiful. I have them neons, every color of the rainbow, and they're good up to about 350 degrees. And I used them for coating projectiles and coating metal and first one thing and another. But I was tempted to try, but I knew that would be a disaster, so I didn't. So I turned to these powders. They're rather inexpensive. You can use them in several things. I use them in concrete casting, and I can also use them if I want to, probably in resin jewelry. But that's it. That's all you have to do. I mix up very small amounts, pour it in my molds. You can mix up whatever amount you want to. I have found, just as in a closing note, that whatever these oxides give to your slip, they make it harder. It seems to cast a little bit smoother than this regular slip. It seems to be harder. It takes longer to absorb into the mold. It does discolor the mold, and as you can tell here, if you look really close, it'll leave some on this. You have to clean your molds up, or fire, or pour something up in it just to get the mold cleaned out. But that's the only downside. You can't predict the color, what it's going to look like until you run your tests, and you're going to end up with some very nice stuff. It gives it the gloss gives it a nice finish. It has a nice feel to it when it's bisque. So it's just an experiment. Something really quick. And like I said, I found it to be interesting in my journey, carrying me a little further along in my journey on helping me understand ceramics. Don't understand much of it, but I'm getting there. And so here's the last little tip that I'm going to give you guys, and it's got to do with nothing in particular except stuff that you add to whatever. If you have frit, like I keep my frit in these neat little Walmart containers, get you a bunch of plastic spoons, add you a plastic spoon to every one of them. That way you won't be contaminating your spoons. You'll have a spoon in each one. You're good to go. I have one in all my frit. I have one in all my powders. And that is my tip for today. That concludes this video on casting with colored slip. And I hope you learned something. I hope it was interesting. But that's it. I'm Captain Mike, and I'm out of here.